Yo, you looking to start selling your shirts at festivals and events? Let me try to help you out.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the number one, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there. And I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando. Let's go!
Satin everybody, boy Big Brando, and today we're going to be talking about vending at festivals and events. More importantly, how to find some of these festivals and events so you could start vending at them. Now, this is going to sound like a shameless plug, but if you're not following me on Instagram, I suggest you start following me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. And the reason being is because I always post local events that's happening around Southern California, whether it's festivals, events, shows, you name it. There's an opportunity to get a vendor booth at these places. I'm posting about it. And I usually post it in my stories, and I also link the vendor applications or how to sign up to be a vendor or how to get more information from these places. I also tag the people that are throwing the event, and I also try to leave as much information as possible for you guys. Now, 100% I understand that this is biased to Southern California because that's where I'm from. I'm from Los Angeles. So anytime there's an event or a festival coming up where people are looking for vendor booths or there's opportunity to get a vendor booth there, I try to spread the awareness and share as much information as possible for you guys. Now, let's say you don't live in Southern California. Let's say you're in Northern California, or maybe you're in the middle of the country. Social media is always going to be your best friend. Facebook groups are going to be your best friend, especially localized ones. But outside of that, you can always walk into your city hall because a lot of these events and festivals that do happen at parks, fairgrounds, sometimes they shut down streets. They have to get permits for that kind of stuff. When they obtain those permits, that's when they know that there's a festival coming up. So your city hall has a calendar that says, here's all the events happening for the next 2 or 3 months. And majority of the time, that's where you could also apply to be a vendor at a lot of these events. So go to your local city hall and just say, hey, do you have any craft fairs coming up, festivals coming up, live events, live shows, anything that's building the community will be found at your local city hall. Do not be scared of city hall. Do not be intimidated by city hall. They're there for you. You're a resident of that city. Go check it out. Now, let's say that your local city hall don't got nothing going on. You live in a small town. Go to the next big city and find out what's going on. I'm pretty sure whatever city you live in, you know what the next big city is that has a bigger population than your city. Go to their city hall and then find out what's going on. A lot of these areas always have street fairs, food festivals, farmers markets, craft fairs. Sometimes they're around holidays, Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July. There's always stuff going on. Checking in with your city hall is going to be your best bet. Now, the next one's going to be local church. Walk into your local church. Or if you know somebody that goes to that church, see if they have anything going on. Around here, churches usually have fairs and carnivals. So with the fair and carnival comes vendor booths. Simple as that. You can always try your local swap meets, flea markets, trading posts, stuff like that. They usually sell 10 by 10 booths. Now, let's say all of these things don't sound appealing to you. Let's say you don't want to walk into your city hall or a church. Or let's say you don't want to put the legwork in to find out where these festivals are happening. You just want it handed to you. At that point, you're just going to have to dig around social media. If you're into sneakers and you sell streetwear, obviously following a lot of the big sneaker bloggers, sneaker sites, sneaker channels, sneaker pages are going to post when SneakerCon comes up or the Dunk Exchange comes up. Man, I just posted a sneaker show not too long ago. I found out they were looking for vendors that's going to be local here in Los Angeles, and I just posted that on my story a few days ago. So that's why I say it's beneficial to follow me just for that type of information only. And I know there's going to be people in the comments like, hey, where's that sneaker show going to be at? Can you send me the info? You got to follow me on Instagram to get this information, man. Anytime stuff comes up to me or people tag me and stuff, I repost it all the time. And a lot of these events and marketplaces and stuff like that that happen locally, there's one that happens in Lakewood and Long Beach. There's ones that happen here in the South Bay and the beach cities. There's another one that happens at all the local breweries. When they're looking for vendors, they hit me up, they tag me in their post, and I repost it to help them find vendors. That's why I say it's beneficial to follow me, not because I'm trying to get my followers up, but if you wanted that information, it's there. I'm posting it on my story, linked. I don't get nothing from this. I'm only reposting it so the information gets out to you guys. But you got to remember, man, this kind of stuff, you can't be scared. You can't be timid. It's all right to be nervous, but don't let your nerves stop you from going out and getting this information. There's so many people that I say, hey, go to your local city hall. find out what's going on. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. Well, who do I go and talk to over there? Almost every city hall has an information desk. If somebody's sitting at the front, just ask them, like, hey man, is there any local festivals coming up? Bingo, they'll tell you, oh yeah, here's the calendar. Sometimes they got to print it out and you could take it home with you. Or you could just look at it and be like, hey, how do I become a vendor at some of these things? And they'll give you all the information. That's what they're there for. You don't know how many people I tell to go to your local city hall and they have a million excuses on why they don't want to go there, why they don't want to go get that information. Or I say, hey man, there's, local churches are having carnivals. They're looking for vendors because it's all fundraising for the church. So they'll be gladly to sell you a vendor booth because it goes to their fundraising, right? The booth costs $50. That's $50 that's going into the church's pocket. You set up your table and your displays and you get to sell it. Now, with all this information about how to find local events and how to vend at certain places, you have to go into vending somewhere with a certain mentality. You can't go into it thinking I'm going to be selling everything. Everybody that walks into the fair or into the festival is going to buy a t-shirt from you. One, it's good to have good dreams, but at the same time, you've got to be real with yourself. What I use a lot of my vending opportunities for is just for promotion. These are people that don't know about my brand. These are people that don't know about my business. These are people that don't know I exist. So I use that opportunity to promote my online store, to promote my retail location, to promote my services. Everybody that walks by my table, everybody that walks into my booth should leave with something. If it's not a t-shirt, if it's not a hat, it should be a discount code or a flyer or a business card or whatever you're giving out, a sticker. They should leave with something, because when I vend at these places, I don't think everybody's going to come in and buy something from me. That's not my mentality at all. My mentality is to promote myself and be face to face with these potential customers. Now, I'm not saying you got to come off like a salesman, like, hey, come and buy my shirts, blah, blah, blah. You don't got to do all that. But this does give you face to face interactions with potential customers and talk them up. Understand who's buying from you. Understand this is an opportunity for you to speak about your brand, to brag about your brand, to let them know what your mission statement is, why you started the brand. This is your chance to get your story heard. I don't know how many times you guys walk through craft fair or marketplace or something and everybody's just kind of sitting behind the table. Maybe they're on their phone. They're not engaged with the people walking by or coming in. That turns a lot of people off because it's like, oh, you're not here to really sell nothing, or you're not really here to, to mingle with the people. So if you're just quiet and you're on your phone and you're not paying attention to who's at the booth or whatever, until somebody picks something up and then you're like, hey, can I help you with something? Nah, greet everybody that walks by, talk to everybody that comes in. That's all it is. There's nothing wrong with sitting down, but it is something wrong with not being alert with who's coming in and acknowledging the people coming in and taking a look at your stuff. So be aware of who's there. If you're the face of the brand, talk to the people, greet them as they come in, small talk them. That's all it is, man, because you're talking to potential customers. You know what I mean? Like I say, you don't got to come off as a salesman, but as a business owner, it's always best to put your best foot forward and leave a lasting impression on this person, whether they buy something or they don't. That's my mentality when I go into vending. It's not about selling every single t-shirt that I bring. Yeah, it'd be nice, but I'm also humbly real with myself, knowing that's not the case. Has it happened before? Yeah, where I sell out of everything and I make tens of thousands of dollars in a weekend based off of just slanging t-shirts and hats. And it's happened, yeah, but that's not the overall goal every single time, because I know if I set that expectation for myself and it doesn't happen, shit could be soul crushing, man. Blow to the ego, because you bring all this stuff and then you only sell half of it and you're like, damn, I gotta come home with all this now. And you feel like a failure. But if you set your expectation a lot lower and understand why you're going out to vend, then the event will be successful no matter what, because you're using it for promotion. There's people that hit me up and be like, hey, I just vended at my first event. I only sold, 4 t-shirts. That's not a failure. You sold those 4 t-shirts, but at the same exact time, if you use your time correctly and you use your experience correctly, 4 people bought shirts, but maybe 400 people are now aware of your brand if they left with something, if you engaged with them, if you left that lasting impression on them. Hopefully this information helps somebody out. I know there's been a lot of talk because I've been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram and TikTok about getting ready for this festival. So I've been getting a lot of questions about vending and how do I find these festivals and how do I start vending at places. Start by following me on Instagram because I share stuff all the time. Next, you could go to your local city hall, go to your churches, go to your high schools, start pounding that pavement. You got to put the footwork in, you know what I mean? If you guys got any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments for me. Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.